There are exactly 5 levels of lockdown defense in college football 26, and I guarantee most of you are still stuck at level 1 or level 2 without even knowing. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down all 5 levels from what they do to basic coverage shells to even size your defense so your opponent never knows what you're in. You're not going to miss out on any of the tips I have for you in this video because if you master all 5 levels, you'll be able to shut down anyone you play against. Let's jump right into it. Alright, level 1, the foundation of great defense is simply using the best settings and coaching adjustments. Let me break those down for you. Alright, so we're going to start with the coaching adjustments here. Defensive auto flip, alright? This makes sure that your slot corner, comes out on the same side as the slot receiver every play. Because as you see, I have it turned off right now and I can flip my play. Now, that's going to be good for some people, but also not good because right here, right, I guessed wrong. This is my slot corner. He's on the opposite side of the slot receiver. And now we're playing cover 2 on this side that they have 3 receivers. Whereas we would want to be in more of a safe coverage, right? Cover 3 cloud, you're going to play cover 3 on the passing strength, cover 2 on the weak side. So that's really a huge disadvantage when you turn auto flip off if you guess wrong, because there will be times where you guess right, but it's just like you just want to have it on most of the time. Cornerback matchups and defense and motion response balanced and disabled. You want to make sure that these are on so that, you know, your defense actually aligns correctly, you know, when the offense no autos or when the offense motions. We come into RPO pass key though. This is going to help you defend RPOs a little bit better there. And then we come down to zone drops, what everyone wants to know. I would recommend if you just want to set these, forget them. You don't really want to touch them. Default 5 default is certainly the way to go for you, simply because this is going to make sure that your underneath defenders are actually able to play underneath, right? You don't want to use 10-yard, 15-yard flat zones, whatever anyone else tells you. Those zones don't play anything. A 5-yard will literally just sit there and break that pass up right there on the sideline very, very easily. We go with it again, boom. He's just sitting right there, easy interception, easy breakup. So it's like, you know, 5-yard flats, having the correct zone drops is going to help your defense a whole lot. But then the last setting really that we need to talk about is the safety depth here. And the reason why this is so important is because obviously this is going to help your defend the seam a little bit better, right? So we're going to come into Tampa 2. We are going to come into bunch strong, or really any formation here. And we're just going to have them try to chuck a pass right at the seam. But you're going to notice how Bray Hubbard is back there to knock that pass away. Simply because, here's the truth, they're going to wait for that, you know, route to develop over the top, right? Get over top of this hook zone, right? Especially when your hooks drop to 10 yards when they're on default, that's where they're going to drop to. So they have to wait for this route to get over the top of them, but that's why you want to basically close the airspace, as I say, make sure that there's not enough room for them to throw this pass. Bray Hubbard breaks on that pass and, you know, knocks it away. Understand though, right, if you have slow safeties, you don't want to have safety depth on close because they can lob passes over the top, right? If your safeties are fast enough though, they're going to be able to get back there, break on the ball, and make a play. So it's really just about understanding the personnel that you have. But as far as defense settings, those first 3 on, balance, disabled. For alignment, you want to turn RPO pass key on conservative to help you defend the RPOs better. Flats on default 5 default unless you want to change them for certain situations, and then making sure you have close and pinch on for safety alignment unless your safeties are really slow. Alright, after you get past the foundation, level 2 is actually having a good user defender. You don't want to give up wide open posts and crossers down the field, so let me show you how to improve your user defense. Alright, so it really doesn't matter what play, what formation you call, but when I say having a better user, too many of you guys are using the defensive line, right? And so really the problems that create is any good offensive player, there's no user defender on the field, so it's essentially like they're playing against the AI. All they have to do is double team the defensive lineman that you're using. Well, I mean, I guess besides the fact that a guy can walk in free, maybe not, they probably wouldn't do that if they were in empty protection. So maybe they come into base protection, they double team the guy that you're using on the defensive line, then they call a route concept like this, and then you see how that drag is going to be wide open. Maybe I guess I shouldn't double team. So we take the snap right here, and if we could just block your user, you're just going to notice how that pass in the middle of the field is going to be wide open because there's no one in the middle of the field to actually be able to stop that. So instead, what you need to do is don't use her defensive lineman, use her a linebacker. And the reason why you want to do that is because now what you're going to notice is you can lurk over the middle and take away whatever routes they have now. You see how that crosser is still open down the field? That's an example of, okay, level 1 user defense is just using a middle linebacker. Level 2 user defense is actually making sure that you're able to guard the deepest route on the field, right, and take away their problem route. So now we're going to take the snap. Oh, wait, they're going to have a crosser open, so now I'm going to take my user defender and guard it. Now, what you notice at the end of that play was my flat zone came down to take that route away, right? Boom, you're able to see how this is open, right? But if they make the read late, it's not open anymore. So good offensive players will certainly hit this, right? And it'll be no problem really for them. But it's like you have to not let them throw this because they will rarely miss crossers, the deeper passes. That's what too many players on offense, and it's bad. You shouldn't do this if you're on offense. But a lot of players, they look for those deeper routes first. And so if you give them up, then they're just going to easily hit them. So it's like instead what you need to do is, again, take away the deeper route in the field, force them to hit their checkdowns all throughout the game, but also know that if you need to, you can man up their drag, right? You can take away their check down, route commit inside, for example, and then what you're going to notice is, boom, now we take away this crosser, and the drag is going to be guarded by that man coverage defender who we route committed inside. So it's really just forcing them to actually make good reads on offense, hit their check downs, and, not allow them to just throw wide open passes. Now, it's not just that, particular route concept. If they were to call street corner flat, right, something like this, well, now I know I need to have a good user over here, right? I know that, okay, I read the play. Oh, wait, this corner route's going to be open. I jump out here. You still notice how that X receiver is open in the middle of the field. That's fine. You just don't want to give up those super deep, passes, easy passes on the sideline. This is going to be wide open on the sideline, right? We know that's a flood concept against cover 3, but I'm beelining out here, recognizing it and taking the route away, sacrificing this, force them to hit this. It's all about the bend but don't break philosophy. Don't give them anything easy. Force them to consistently hit checkdowns because, to be honest with you, a lot of people will miss those reads and just end up taking coverage sacks, right? So you're just trying to find whatever the deepest problem route on the field is. You give them everything else. You certainly want to play good defense. You want to try to take stuff away, but if they just call a good play against your defense, you certainly want to take away the deepest route. So bottom line with the user, find the deepest problem route on the field and don't come down with your user giving up a giving up a crosser when you're trying to take away a drag. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, so clearly you clicked on this video because you're trying to improve on defense here at CFB 26. So what are you thinking? Go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tips and tricks every single day for you guys in this game. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. My 4-3 multiple defensive ebook just got updated a few days ago with some urgent updates for as far as blitzes, coverages, everything you need to dominate on defense. And it's really the most comprehensive ebook I've ever dropped. So what are you thinking? Go down below to the pinned comment. You can use code YouTube to get 20% off. It goes to full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you need to dominate on defense. And let's jump right back into the video. Alright, that third level of defense that you need to master is actually having a go-to blitz that you can count on to get the quarterback on the ground. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so we're going to come into dime normal, the play here, and this is actually straight from the update of the defensive ebook. The play is dime blitz 3, alright? All you have to do is make sure you come down here and you're going to open this custom stunts menu until you find the left tom 2-man stunt, alright? What you're going to do is you're going to shift your defensive line to the left, and you can drop this man out right here into a vert hook. So now it's going to look something like this. If you want to defend the seam a little bit better, you can put your outside corner in a cloud flat, your top safety in a deep half, and you're going to pass commit. So what we're going to see now is when they take the snap, all you're trying to do is turn those guards outside. Really the reason why is because you're already dropping this guy out into a zone, right? This man right here. So 75 doesn't have any. Look at this. These two guys are blocking nobody, and we have a 4-on-3 advantage over here on this side. We get a guy to come in clean. So that's against empty protection, and now we're going to showcase it against base protection. So again, the coverage is optional. You can leave it like this, or you can, set it up something like this. But really all you need to do is shift that D-line left, drop this man into a vert hook, and pass commit your defense. So this is what you're going to be able to see now. And so we're going to put them in base protection, and we're going to take this snap, and you're just going to notice how against base protection, really, I mean, that was even worse. Two guys come in clean. So you saw it against empty protection, you just saw it against base, which those are the two most common pass protection types. So boom, you see it again, how same thing, these two guys, they don't know what's going on. No one picks them up, they don't, get recognized. So shift D-line. I'm going to actually block the running back right here so that you guys can see it against that particular look. But this really is only a 4-man blitz, but it's one of the fastest 4-man blitzes I've seen all year long. Just being honest with you, I mean, it's kind of insane. But base protection, block the running back, take the snap, and now what you're going to notice is, yes, the running back slides over to block 22, but then we're able to just push our way into the quarterback. So let's see it, boom, right here, where, of course, they have their running back block, so they're going to do a little bit better job. You see how this time, I honestly feel like I didn't really turn this guy outside, so that's why he slid over, which is going to help them out, but you still see how this man comes in clean, running back picks him up, and then he just immediately gets shedded. So it's still very routine, very quick, but, I mean, they have a +2 numbers advantage, and that's kind of ridiculous for them to need that, really, to even be able to pick up this blitz. Right, I mean, but you still notice how the running back is going to get shedded very quickly. So pass commit, I'm still going to try to turn this guy outside. Boom, you see it come in clean. I mean, just wreaking complete havoc for the offensive line. And the best part really is you're still able to take away these quick slants and stuff because you drop this man into this zone. And you also notice how if you have all 3 zone drop depths on default, he's actually going to match onto this like post route where he's going to match onto something over the middle. You're back over the middle of the field with your user immediately, and then you just have, a quick pressure. They don't block their running back. It flies in the backfield immediately. You see if they do block their running back, a guy comes in clean, immediately gets shedded, and so we're able to get the quarterback on the ground. So really, this blitz, like I said, you need a go-to blitz to get the quarterback on the ground, and I mean, you're seeing it right here where it's like, I mean, you tell me, they're kind of just going to be clueless, a guy walking in free, sack fumbles all game, and you're going to be dominating. So dime normal, dime blitz 3, left tom 2-man stunt, and start abusing that. Alright, so again, before I jump into those final 2 levels of lockdown defense here in CFB 26, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm the only one right now breaking down college football 26 tips and tricks for you guys every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But let's jump into those final 2 levels. Because this 4th level is one that gets lost in the sauce so many times. A lot of people want to make a whole bunch of adjustments, but if you can master a simple defense, that's going to be way more effective. Let me show you the best defense to master that's really simple right now. Alright, so that defense is going to be cover 3 cloud here from dime normal. Now, you can do this from a lot of different cover 3 cloud looks, whatever floats your boat, right? It's just like cover 3 cloud, such a great defense because it's hybrid. It's cover 3 on the passing strength side, cover 2 on the weak side. So we're going to have them be in a random pass play right here. Of course, they're going to call a freaking touch pass on the first rep. But really, you're just trying to find work with your user to switch dip. For example, right here, they're going to be in an empty formation, and so my job really is to just watch this through a receiver side, right? Just watch it, switch stick around if I need to, come down, do what I got to do, and then you notice how we're able to play really lockdown defense, right? It's all about actually making the reads with your switch stick defender, okay? I recognize I need to come down here, then I'm over here. That crosser to the tight end would have been wide open if I wasn't sticking onto it and paying attention. Look at this play, okay? Boom, we see running back on his wheel, so we come down, switch here, boom, take that away. Then I see I need to come up here, take away this crosser, boom, take that away. Then I see that this tight end could get open, so I switch onto this linebacker, take that away. So really, we're able to bag their whole play from no adjustments. The adjustment for us is after the snap, reading their play and switch sticking. All right, so you also don't want to get in the habit of switch sticking onto deep zones. So when you have your safety depth on close, that can happen sometimes, just because they're a little closer to the line of scrimmage. So if you want to, move them back onto default, that would be the one area or the one time that I would recommend doing that. But here we're gonna see this route concept, which certain route concepts are going to be harder for you to defend anyway, which is why the switch stick becomes even more valuable and even more important. So again, we're going to go with another empty formation here, boom, switching around, and you're able to see how sometimes you're going to be able to bait them. If you switch onto deep zones, come down, and then switch off of him, they might think that guy's open, throw it, and it's a pick. So you're going to say, BLT, how do I get better with the switch stick? Because this defense, you can't not make adjustments and not switch stick in this game. It's one or the other. So really the best way I'd recommend you improve your switch stick is spying off the pass rush, doing a simple drill like this in practice mode. Spy off the pass rush, drop all these guys out, and you're just trying to defend, right? Whatever play they call, whatever route concept they call, you're just trying to defend it. Here's the thing, though. You're going to have to defend these route bounces, right? These guys, at some point, they're going to start route bouncing, and at no point do you want them to be able to throw this ball down the field. So you're really having to work on this, and this is hard, right? To be able to actually take stuff away. Now, if you want to have your friend hook up the controller or control the other controller and throw the ball, that would be even better. That would help you control your switch stick even more. And then obviously when they stop running, you throw the ball away. But it's like, if you do that drill in practice mode for like 10 minutes every day before you hop on, you're going to have a way better feel for your switch, and you're going to get way more coverage sacks. So really mastering a simple defense like cover 3 cloud, really effective for you, because you're not having to make a whole bunch of adjustments. You're just playing off of your switch stick. But the key is getting better with that switch stick and recognizing different route combos. Alright, so that 5th and top level is actually going to be the switch stick, but it's also not what I just showed you. There's actually more to it, so let me break it down. Alright, so obviously I just showed you the switch stick variation, or the switch stick level, where obviously you're flicking the right stick depending on the route concept they have called, and you're trying to take away routes, right? And that's fantastic, and that's really what a lot of people think the switch stick is, right? Is just using the right stick. But here's the reality. There's a better way to even switch stick sometimes, right? And so obviously another key is if you get caught on a defensive lineman, you can't, like in previous years, you would be screwed. You would just be stuck, and guys would be wide open down the field. But what I'm about to tell you here is the D-pad switch stick, right? And so that's really the 5th level, is utilizing this D-pad switch stick in the most effective way. So when you get caught on a defensive lineman, immediately press D-pad up, and you're going to be able to get back into coverage with your user, and then that man is still going to continue to blitz. So it's like, okay, well, I'm clicking on, making adjustments, I get caught on a defensive lineman, immediately press D-pad up, I'm back into coverage, and we're still good to go. So anytime you get caught on a defensive lineman, the play's not over. I told you earlier in the video, you don't want to use a defensive lineman, so if you get caught on him, don't stay on him. Press that D-pad up, and you're going to be able to D-pad switch stick. But also, another key is if you blitz your user, whether it's on accident or you're trying to do it, now you can't switch stick with the right stick. You see how he's basically dumbing out and like whiffing a few times, right, doing that animation? That's because just like you can't switch stick from a defensive lineman using the right stick, it's any player that's in a blitz assignment you can't switch stick. So you have to use the D-pad. Now, the thing though about that is, I'm not telling you never blitz your user. Actually, sometimes you should, especially if you're trying to overload blitz people. So what you can actually do is set up an overload blitz like this from like Mike Blitz 0, from 3-3 Cub or 3-5 Penny, whatever it is, where you're going to blitz your user, create the overload, and now what you're going to notice is I'm going to D-pad switch stick, right? So boom, take it, D-pad switch stick, and now we're going to have a 4-on-3 advantage on the left side, and so we're going to be able to get that quick pressure. But because that time I press D-pad to the right to D-pad switch stick off of him, I'm able to get back into coverage under this man and take routes away while we still have this 4-on-3 advantage, and we're going to be able to get that pretty quick pressure. So shift the D-line left, blitz our user, drop this man into a curl flat, right? And so we're just going to do something like this. And so now when they take the snap, immediately press D-pad right, and you're going to be able to get that flying pressure up the middle and off the edge. So that's the 5th level, is actually using the D-pad switch stick. Now, there's other blitzes that you can do this from dying normal, from 3-3 mint, from 3-3 cub, right? So there's a lot of different defenses, but you do notice how when you blitz your user, you get the attention of the center, and then this man is able to come in completely untouched off the edge, and then again, you're back into coverage with your user simply because you were able to switch stick with the D-pad. So really, that's what it is. The 5th level is tying in the D-pad switch stick and the regular right stick switch stick. If you're trying to go from coverage to coverage, right? So you're trying to go from a coverage player, a zone assignment, or a man coverage assignment to another man or zone assignment, you use the right stick, right? And we know that. But if you're trying to go from a blitzer to a guy in coverage, right, then you have to use the D-pad. So something like this, boom, take it, and now I have to use the D-pad, and then I'm able to get that really quick pressure right up the middle. So really, that's the 5th level, incorporating the D-pad switch stick with the regular switch stick. All right, so if you found any of those 5 levels to lock down defense helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. Again, I break down CFB 26 defense tips every single day for you guys, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full 4-3 multiple defensive ebook with some of those setups I showed you in this video, and even more coverages that just got updated, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. It goes through the full video, screenshots, write-ups, everything you need to dominate on defense from this playbook. And if you want to see 5 tips to help your offense here in CFB 26, check out this video. I'll see you over there. Peace.